Hey y'all, I have Andy Chen here today to chat a little about his experience going through Pre-Sales Academy. This call and all of our future calls is really our opportunity to showcase the amazing people, students, volunteers who are involved with the program. So I am super happy to have Andy here. Andy's here from Cohort 6. So I'm going to give him the space to do a more formal introduction of him. So just to kick it off, Andy, please tell everyone about yourself. What's your background? And just introduce yourself to the space.
Yeah, thanks, Nina. Absolutely. My name is Andy. I've been in Seattle for the last 20 years. So my career has taken me from account management to support and then to more support. So I just kind of was stuck in a rut of just being in a support engineer type role for the last, 10 years or so. I was at DocuSign. I found out about a sales engineering or solution engineering internship, and I was like, this is a really cool field that I think I could really excel in. So I finished that, and then which led me to find out about the Pre-Sales Academy. So a year after that, I applied for the Pre-Sales Academy, got in, and it's really been wonderful networking and meeting all the lecturer people, lecturers. Wait, the lecturers, and meeting the leads, and yeah, everyone I've met in the Pre-Sales Academy has been fantastic.
Nice. No, I love that. It's definitely interesting seeing how everyone's kind of gone on a different journey to discover not only the pre-sales profession, but also this program. Obviously the pre-sales profession really does cover a lot of different roles. You have your traditional solutions consultant roles, and even you can see these skills leveraged in post sales. What is your favorite part about being in a solutions focused role?
I think the best part really is that understanding the customer's pain points and having that framework. I think that
Yes.
can lead me to any type of role. I think basically going into a customer call, understanding what their biggest issues are. If you have that type of framework for any type of role that you have and trying to find solutions for them instead of just using the water hose effect and telling them everything about your product or everything about your features, you'll connect right away with the customer. You'll drive that outcome driven focus. And so I feel like that has really shifted gears in how I think about, how I did some support even when I was still in the pre-sales academy, and also which has led me to the getting a customer success manager role. Like there's so many aspects of that I can really bring into it by learning about pain points and trying to resolve those pain points. And that's all, and another big part obviously is the demoing, the being
Yes.
comfortable demoing and showcasing a features of a product.
Nice, nice. No, I love that. Then kind of building off that question. So just talking more about kind of like your journey during the program. So what kind of skills and knowledge do you feel like was most valuable from the experience and kind of contribute to where you are today?
I honestly would have to say a lot of the pre work. I think the interviewing process, like it
Okay.
really opened my eyes to how much more I could have done with an interviewing and prepping, especially in this day and age where it is definitely a much tougher market. I think being prepared with all the questions that you can ask people after at the end of an interview, all the pre-email templates you can use, the post-email templates. So I was surprised at how often recruiters or hiring managers would email back quickly just saying, "Hey, thanks for sending that over. That's nice to receive that from you." Just something like that, something as simple as that, just to show you're engaged and you're serious about getting this particular role. Just yeah, all the prep, all the interview questions, I think will definitely lead me not just to this current job, for future jobs in the future, and how I approach the entire interview process. But on the actual sales side or the role itself, I would just echo what I mentioned earlier, just learning about the customer's biggest pain points. And
Mhm.
you obviously, tell, show, tell is a really big one. That's something that I probably did subliminally, but never really, did on purposely to showcase something in a demo. So that the tell, show, tell storytelling technique is really helpful, not just for sales engineering roles, but for anything that you do, especially interviewing as well. So I feel like those are the biggest aspects for me.
Nice. No, I find it so funny how students can kind of pull out things they learn in demoing and even bring it into their job search process. Like,
Hmm.
let's face it, at the end of the day, job searching is hard. It's like, okay, how can I communicate effectively and tell my own story? Well, you need to tell your the story when you're presenting a product. So, how are you basically reframing that conversation and value selling yourself at the end of the
Yes,
day?
absolutely. Definitely, definitely.
So I know the career transition process is definitely a difficult one. What were some challenges that you face and how'd you really overcome them over time?
I think a lot of the challenge is just the confidence. Like, pre-sales and solution engineering is not something you learn in college, or not
Yeah,
something you really learn as something, a job that you'll get once you graduate. So just kind of that unfamiliarity with that particular field, understanding that like it sounds kind of daunting, like solution engineering. Like I've done support engineering, but even that is like a big leap from support to solution. So kind of understanding what pre-sales is, that understanding that entire process really helps reduce some of that fear, or that like unfamiliarity with that particular role and the things and the skills that are required. I think really learning that, oh my gosh, I already have a lot of transferable skills and obviously
yeah.
still have more skills to learn, but knowing that I have the ability and the transferable skills really gave me that confidence in knowing that, hey, I think I can do this job. I think I can nail these interviews, and make that transition quickly. And I think, the hardest and the most difficult part is convincing somebody,
Yeah.
in an interview, that they will ask, like, hey, I see you've been doing this particular role beforehand. Why are you thinking of jumping into pre-sales? And being able to answer that question and talk about your passion for pre-sales and the skills you've built that will lead me into that potential pre-sales role is something that Pre-Sales Academy did fantastically.
Well, I appreciate that. No, it is hard, especially basically showcasing that, hey, your past experiences do equate to experience in this profession in a solutions oriented role and will set you up for success. What I think
Mhm.
it's been honestly amazing to see about you in this process is just I feel like you definitely have demonstrated such strong resiliency in it.
Mhm.
Like, it's job searching is hard no matter what. And the fact that you are always going back at it, thinking about how can I improve, how can I adjust, honestly it's been a like a pleasure to just kind of be part of that journey with you.
That's really nice to hear. I think also I couldn't have done it without you and the support of so many alumni and the rest of our cohorts. I know like we haven't been keeping in touch as much as we used to, but it's really nice to kind of, talk from time to time, offer time to help people do interviews, or them offering them their time to review my presentation deck or my upcoming interview. So it's a really, really giving and really fantastic community.
Oh, I love that. Well, then kind of building off those notes, do you have any specific moments post graduation where you felt really proud of yourself, or you're like, hey, this was something I accomplished. It might be a small thing, but it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I really think being able to that preparation, I think I really goes back to the
Fair.
preparation
Okay.
for each interview step, but just being able to, okay, this is the hiring manager call, and knowing what they're looking for, knowing, having that experience and that repetition of like, these are some points that they're going to hammer, and these are some non negotiables that you have to be able to deliver on this interview. So being prepared for that, just having that ability is super was super helpful. Just didn't realize I could put that much more effort into preparing for an interview. And I think, when I've gotten to the demo round, like I've had many successul final interviews
Mhm.
where people have said, wow, like you sound like a seasoned, sales engineer,
Um,
that they wouldn't have been able to tell that, I have hadn't done the job before. So that was really encouraging to hear. And I may not have gotten the role, but just getting that feedback was really just gave me a boost of confidence. Like, this is something I could definitely, a role that I can definitely get in the future.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of validation like, hey, I can present well, I can engage with my audience, I could be part ultimately of like the sales process and be that kind of
Mhm.
consulting figure.
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay, I have one last question for you just to wrap
Sure.
this up. So, what would you tell someone, or what is a piece of advice you have for someone who is looking to make that shift in their career to a solutions focused role?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think number one is Perseverance. I really cannot echo that enough. You will fail over and over and over again, and accepting the fact that it's not me, it's them. They chose somebody else that was probably had more experience. They was something that they wanted in a different role or somebody else. I think understanding that each failure you can learn from each time you don't get past this interview step, you can definitely learn from and grow from it. And just that perseverance has really, helped me through. I think it's been a really, to be frank, it's a very tough, very tough job market. So being able to believe in yourself and understand that, hey, the skills I've equipped it from the pre-sales academy and I continue to, repeat those and learn and develop those skills, it will lead you to the job that you're looking for. And just persevering through those bumps in the road, it makes all the difference.
Oh, I love that. No, what an amazing way to wrap up this conversation. Thank you again, Andy, for spending some time with me. It's
No
been a
problem.
pleasure just having you share your story, being part of that experience, working with you. And thank you for being part of our student highlights for our third birthday.
Absolutely, man. Happy birthday to Pre-Sales Academy, and I'm excited to see future roles that students get. And it's been a great ride.